Just I want to, like I kind of want to keep it like the same as what it was before.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll use like an 8. I got like an 8.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Starting off this haircut with a number 8 guard. This is probably the biggest guard I own. You hear sometimes on the internet people say a 16 guard. It's so funny. They do a lot of like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube reels talking about a 16 guard. It's hilarious. But the 8 guard is my biggest guard I have. Now what's cool about her is that when she started off with me, she had like a mullet. So we did like almost like a taper like you see on the side with the mullet. And then the second time she came, we cut that whole mullet down. And this will be the third time of me cutting her hair. And she wants to take it, back all the way down and with a skin taper on the back and the sides. So I went ahead, used that 8 guard, and just pretty much got everything all evened out. Bend the ears and get all the hair behind it, just so that we can have everything even all the way around. So let's go ahead and start our skin line. Now this is going to be, I want to say, to like a mid taper, not too high but not too low at the same time. So I'm just putting the skin lines exactly where they need to be, just going across, making them as even as possible. You don't have to concentrate on making them so even like some people do. Don't waste too much time doing skin lines, guys. Kind of a waste of time. You're gonna blend them out anyway, but you do want to make them even enough to where they all look the same all around, like right at the top of the ears where I'm doing this. You can see I did it right at the top of the ear on the other side. Now I'm jumping down to my 1.5 guard, and I'm just flicking my wrist and just creating that space for our blend. We're gonna work our way from the biggest guard down to the smallest guard. I'm gonna take this 1.5 guard and I'm gonna do this all the way around the head. You can see I'm going behind the ears over here. Very important, so that the fade could just blend in and not just look like, it's just one section. You want that to blend in on the sides as well. Now from here, we're going to jump down to our 1 guard. We're going to use that lever to blend into that 1.5. So as I go higher, I'm opening my lever and blending to the 1.5 and pretty much flicking my wrists and just getting that hair from around the ear. You can see I use the corner of that machine just to get around that ear, not too much. At this point, you're kind of like, just like, you got to be an artist when you're fading hair, when you're cutting hair. You have to look at what's going to be best. Now I'm not saying to go around the ear for everybody. Each person will be different. Depends on the hair texture, depends on everything. But if you want it to look clean, and depending on how high you're doing the fade, depending how low you're doing it, it's just all about that. So since we're doing more like a mid to high taper, I'm going around the ear so that it just doesn't stand out. A lot of times when people do tapers, you can just see like it just looks high on one part and then it's just straight dark behind the ears. So that's very important. I wanted to point that out because I know a lot of people don't do it like that. But that's the reason. You can see that hair that's there that I'm going on. You want to make sure that you get that. You don't want it to be a separation. You want it to fully blend. And it's all going to start making more sense as we get further down. Now you can see I have the half guard on here. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping the machine way lower, flicking my wrist. My strokes are a lot smaller, guys. And as I get higher, I'm opening that up. And again, getting behind the ear, just in that area right there. So this way, when we come around and we blend it all out, it's gonna look really good. Now I took off that half guard and we're gonna complete the blend with our machine closed, and we're gonna open it up as we go higher. Make sure that your machine is 0 gapped. If your machine isn't 0 gap, you're not gonna be able to get out that skin line. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing in the back. Drop down to our half guard, flick the wrist and blend it out. Now you can see our fade is coming along. It's getting a lot better. Looks really blended out. Now the thing is, when you add that line in there, guys, and you shape up that client, it's a totally big difference. Right here, we grabbed our shaver. We're just gonna clean it up some more. This definitely makes the fade pop a lot more. When you know how to line a person up, guys, it really pops out. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Now you see that blend, looks good, looks tight. But when I add that line up to it, guys, it's gonna be a big difference. Now I don't use any sprays or dyes or anything like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys do that on the internet, but I'm the type of guy that just doesn't use that type of stuff because they don't last that long. It's just for the pictures. You know, they basically wash out. So we're starting off at the corner over here, shaping it up, just connecting my corners, you know, one side of the T outliner to the other side of the T outliner, and that pretty much, you know, gives it a nice connect. You know, that's how I make the corners. Now we're gonna go ahead and shape around the ears. This goes back to what we were talking about before, how it's like totally blended around the ears, and you can see how that fade just kind of just goes into, you know, the other part of the fade going around the ear right here, just with the corner of my machine. You don't want to bring that up too high. And I know a lot of guys do that when you first start out. You make that mistake. Make sure that you bend the ear. It doesn't hurt the customer to bend the ear. Now look how different that fade looks once you shape it up, guys. Totally different. Same thing over here on this side. You can see we're just going around, and then we're gonna shape around that ear. It depends. I'm starting from the back over here because I can see the way the hair is growing. You can see the hair is kind of growing down and towards me, and that's why I'm starting that way. If it was another person and their hair was growing the other way, then I probably would start going this way around the ears. But in this case, that hair is coming towards, it's going backwards. You know, like I said, it was a mullet before, so it's used to going backwards. And then as for the top, the crown of the head right there, I'm gonna hit that with some thinning shears because I went over it with the 8 guard, and that's the length of the hair, you know. So I'm gonna hit it with some thinning shears in a few seconds just to let that fall down a lot more. And same thing over here, we're just shaping it out, connecting our corners with our T outliner. Okay, we're gonna start our lineup with the Easy Blade straight razor along with some Easy Blade double edge razors. If you guys are interested, you can go to our website, easybladeshavingproducts.com. Go pick up some products, guys, for real. We got some of the sharpest razors around. We got a subscription service. I mean, a lot of barbers are signed up to our subscription service. They love it. It comes every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever you want. Now you can see I'm stretching that skin, angling that blade at a 30 degree, and just making sure that I shape her up really proper. Now she said hit the eyebrows up a little bit, just clean them up, and that's exactly what I did. Hitting the straight razor on this side as well, making sure it's clean and just making sure everything comes together, man. When you shape somebody up, it really comes together, really brings that fade out and just, you know, does justice, guys. Getting the top of the forehead, pulling the skin down, and just making sure that line is as straight as possible. Now she did have a cut in the eyebrow right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit that with the straight razor as well. And this is what we have, guys. I think it looks really good. And you know, went ahead and hit the back over here, pulling the skin and just making sure that we, you know, make sure that it's nice and sharp, guys. Now I did put some shave gel in the back, some of the Easy Blade shave gel in the back of the head, just so that we can you know, get it right. Now right here I am hitting it with the thinning shears and combing it out, and this is what we have, guys. Pretty much a skin taper faded out. If you guys do like this video, make sure you check out the next one, and also go to our website, easybladeshavingproducts.com. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.